What's going on, everybody? This is your boy June Archer here on the Winner's Circle. This is 50.com and Motivate You. My guest returning. We had so much chemistry last time. We had to do it again. Two-time gold medalist in the Olympics and a superstar when it comes to bouncing that basketball on that parquet floor in the WNBA. She's now an activist. I'm putting that on her. She's doing some great things. Please welcome back to the show, Angel Mccoughtry. Angel, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Man, listen, I'm excited to have you. Super proud of what you've been doing. Let me just ask you, for starters, how have you been keeping up with the COVID pandemic? We're gonna go through all the pandemics, but
right,
talk about
some pandemics
and how you're doing and how your family's doing.
Everybody's doing really well. My mom works from home. During the pandemic, during quarantine, I would just go out, work out the backyard, shoot a little bit. Thank God I have a court back there. We're getting the pool, little stuff like that. Right now, how we're dealing with it with the WNBA, NBA, we're getting tested like every week, every other day. And right now, the rule is just individual workouts, just coach and myself and other players individually. So we're just getting it in slowly, working the process back in. And then once we get to Florida, because the men are going to be in Orlando, we're in IMG Academy, close to Tampa. We're going to quarantine for a little bit and start our group workout. So while constantly getting tested. So we really can't leave the bubble for the safety. So, we're just getting ready and staying focused on what we got to do for our season.
How excited are you? Because there's a lot of things that are on the line for you women that are playing in the league. You guys, or most of you, I should say, you have been one to spearhead it as well. That you guys are coming in with an agenda and some initiatives. I want to talk about that, how important it is, because little birdie just told me you were just, talking to Breanna's family. How important is it for the WNBA to support what you guys are pushing right now, which is the other pandemic that we're dealing with?
I think it's very important. I think the WNBA has done a great job in the NBA. We're pushing these initiatives. And I love that they're allowing us to have a voice and speak our ideas. That's how the jersey, say their names on the jersey campaign came out. Shout out to Ray. We came up with the idea. Let's put, advocate. We want to show that we can still fight social injustice while playing, that we're not just distracted with basketball. We're still here and we're still active and fighting. Our voices are still roaring and off the court. And shout out to the people who decided to take off from basketball and still fight social injustice. I think it's just, double the effort, to be able to play and do it. And if you're not playing, you're still fighting, So we're just here and just trying to advocate. The whole campaign is to be able to put the name, you pick a name, and you put it on your jersey. Of course, with the consent from the families. But how cool would it be to have LeBron or, myself to wear, Breonna Taylor's name? I think the families would love to have elite athletes advocate for them. And we develop a relationship with the families with the names you pick on your jersey. And I think that's a way for us to kind of give back and still fight the initiative and see, hey, what do you guys need us to do in this fight, and to just really call for justice. We're still fighting for justice for Breonna Taylor, our accusers. So that's what this whole campaign is about, to say their names on our jerseys.
I think it's amazing because you're keeping their legacy alive while fighting for justice, while fighting for equality. And you guys, Angel, amazing that you guys shoulder so much. We're talking about equality when it comes to sex, equality when it comes to being paid properly, justice. You guys are shouldering a lot. How does it feel? How's the camaraderie amongst the women that are in the WNBA for what you guys are all kind of like fighting for? And I shouldn't say fighting for, that you guys are standing up for.
Yeah, when it comes to women, we just want our voices heard. You know what I mean? We want to show that we are here too. We are strong. You have to think back, that another pandemic, which is women equality. You know what I mean? Women asked to vote and they were tortured just because they wanted to have a voice too. So that's another pandemic. To me, that equals just as bad as racism. You know what I mean? Women have a voice. Women are strong too. Women play sports just as good. So we just want to show that, we have, our male counterparts' backs. We're here for you guys. Let all our voices be heard. Let's partner up and work together in fighting social injustice, but getting it done. The goal is to get the officers arrested or anyone else who, you know, has been off for so long and an innocent life was taken. So
For you, what is the best piece of advice, or should I say just a word of comfort that you can give to those who have lost family and friends at the hands of police brutality?
Yeah. You know, people are hurting. The best advice that I would give is that justice will prevail. I always learned that things always come back to its medium, that everything is going to come back the way it's supposed to be. Yes, you lost a loved one, and we are tired, we are frustrated, but things are going to come back the way it's supposed to be. Black people are not going to continue to be oppressed. You know, I always tell people, you know, like for example, my mom, she used to work at Baltimore Gas and Electric for many, many years, over 20 years. And her Caucasian counterpart would come in 1 or 2 years, but they would get promoted and she wouldn't. You know what I mean? She would come home crying. I'm like, Dad, why is mommy crying? He was just like, she's okay. She's okay, baby. But now I understood why. You know, no more oppression. You know, if you have a problem with our community, go into the community and see what's going on. Let's help our communities. But there's such a stereotype on who we are, and people don't understand our culture. It's just a lack of understanding. But to those who have lost their loved ones, justice is coming. Everything is coming back to its medium. Justice will prevail. I promise.
How is it for you? Fresh start, new start, injured for a little bit. Sounds like you're excited to get the season started. Now you're in Vegas, baby. Like the Aces. Like, how does it feel to have a fresh start going into this season with everything that is on the line in terms of making sure that you guys are safe and well in this bubble, that you guys are able to have your voices heard, and wanting to just win? What is it going to feel like when you get back out on that floor?
Well, first, I'm excited to be back. It's been a long journey. I have been hurt. Shout out to the Las Vegas Aces for believing in me and picking me up. This is a great team. I think this is a team that could fight and win a championship, of course. But let me go back to the pandemic. Of course, we got to keep safe, but I don't want to forget the frontline workers who have been doing everything in their power to keep people safe, working 24 hours. And that's what Breanna Taylor was. She was helping saving lives when her life was taken. So I want to shout out to all the frontline workers. You know, you're not forgotten, even though we're fighting the other pandemic of social injustice. You know, we have not forgotten you guys either.
No, that's important. My wife has been on the front lines from day one. And, you know, I think people forget there are doctors, there are nurses, there are technicians, there are PAs, there are MPs. So we can't just say doctors and nurses because it takes a lot. There's no disrespect to them, but there's so many other people that are in those systems doing it, especially our first responders as well. So we have to thank them as well.
Absolutely,
For the person who's going through something right now, Angel, you know, life is we just talked about it. 2 pandemics, depending on how you want to look at it.
Right.
People are losing their homes. People have lost their jobs. They haven't been working. You know, they were already struggling to find a way to pay for school, pay for their mortgages or rent. What is the best piece of advice? We just talked about you being hurt. Somebody poured into you. There's something that you tap into when you're in that place. What can you share with us? A key to success or a word of wisdom that can help somebody that's watching and listening today to get out of that rut, to want to go back and get it, to get back on track, to stay motivated and be inspired to live their best dream and live their best life?
Yeah, I would just say don't get weary. You know, you can get very weary in this state, financially, mentally. It's tough. I would say that there's a lot of community outreach out there that's helping people with their businesses, financially. If your house is in foreclosure, there are a whole bunch of initiatives out there right now. I would say to try to go and find an initiative that speaks for you and get the help that you need. But we're here supporting. Don't get weary. Stay in prayer. And like I said, everything will come back the way it's supposed to come back. So,
what can we do to help your cause? You're doing a lot. How can we follow you? How can we help? How can we support? Is there anything that we could donate, especially going into the season? What can we do?
You can click the link on my bio on my Instagram. My Instagram is @Mccoughtry, my last name, McCoughtry, and you'll see the different initiatives that we'll put up. Of course, right now we're just trying to get Breanna Taylor's, officers arrested that just blatantly killed her while she was in her home resting. And if you want to sign the petition to support the Jersey campaign, that's the first step to getting the names on the jerseys and forming the relationship with these families and helping them out and fighting for injustice as much as we can. So definitely you can just click the link on the bio to see what we have coming up.
And we can get information about the petition on your link, correct?
Yes, on the link in my bio on my Instagram. Yes.
Perfect. For the little girl who wants to play in the WNBA with everything that you got going, everything that you're fighting for, I want you to speak to that young girl right now who, because of whatever reason, wow, I don't know what's going on with college. Sports are done, on the collegiate level, high school level, every level that you could think of, sports are done, but they're going to be watching you on the main stage come July. What do you say to that little girl who has hopes and dreams of playing in the WNBA?
Just not little girl, little boys too. They look up to us and they're like, I want to be definitely, play in the league. But just to kids in general who are passionate about something, first find that passion and definitely stick with it and perfect it. Right now, with everything going on, here's your time to figure out what you really want to do. I always say to the kids, the success is not going to come tomorrow. It takes years. But if you look at it, most millionaires are just really good at one thing. So find that one thing that you can perfect, and it can just take you many places that you've never imagined. Like, I just love to play basketball. Never thought I would be an Olympian. So because I had that passion, I loved it. So I tell them, find it. Yeah, it'll take some years, but you love it so much, it doesn't matter. It'll happen on its own. So that's what I tell the kids.
What's next for you as you start to get into the later years? And it seems as though you're an activist now, but you are so much. I don't want to put you in a box. You're multidimensional, but what do you see for yourself as you take on these tasks and you take on these responsibilities, these burdens? What's next for you?
There's a lot of things. I've gotten to a lot of lanes. I think that life is so short. Get into anything and everything that you can. People always kind of say, stay in your lane. You're a basketball player. No, when you're driving a car, do you stay in one lane to get to your destination, or you switch lanes to get there? Get into anything you can. Life is so short. So I'm getting into, I'm writing a book. It's going to be called Spirit Champion. Just about all my, my journey to get to where I am, all the ups and downs. Once again, teaching the kids that, hey, it doesn't happen tomorrow. Getting into some TV show work. I just wrote a pilot for a TV show. It's about kind of like a woman equality kind of TV show. It's called Fair Game. Kind of the differences between being in WNBA and the NBA, but it's going to be like dramatic comedy. Of course, the activist work. That's the main thing, of course, getting that done. But I just want to be creative and tell stories and be able to inspire.
Now, music is a soundtrack to our lives. So, I have to ask you this question. I'm a music guy.
Yes.
For you, when you get out on that court, what is the song that best represents the journey, or that song that you put on to lock in and get in that zone before you get started, before that ball is tipped?
Man, that's actually a good question. I've never thought about that before. Honestly, I have to find that one song. Usually I have a lot of stuff on rotation. It depends on what my body feels before a game. It could be something hype. Then I might need to get in the mood to be in some gospel music or some meditation sounds just to kind of get my body at ease. Maybe I might have a little bit of anxiety before the game. It's a big game. I just need to mellow out. So it kind of just depends on that atmosphere and that feel. But now that we're in the bubble, there's no fans. So I got to find like a steady song. So I'm going to find one song and I'll get back to you on that one.
All right. So give me your favorite artist then.
I like Lauryn Hill just because of just lyrically, she's so deep. The stuff she talks about. And I mean, hey, she raps and sings amazingly. So she's one of my favorites.
That's a beautiful thing. Listen, thank you so much for taking this time out. I know you're busy. You're on the West Coast, and we really appreciate your time. All the things that you're doing and your effort is not for naught. I promise you, we need it, and we need to hear your voices, and your voices will be heard starting this season and beyond, whether it's the WNBA, whether it's Major League Soccer for the women, and all sports.
Absolutely.
We support you. We love what you're doing. If we could be of help, please let us know. So if you're watching and you're listening, please support Angel Mccoughtry. The season is getting ready to start. She got a book on the way. She got some TV stuff on the way. You don't want to miss it. And where can we find you and follow you one more time?
You guys can follow me at Mccoughtry, McCoughtry. And thank you so much for you guys' support. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Angel. We love you. Keep doing what you're doing. This is June Archer for Motivate You, the Winner Circle here on thisis50.com. Thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure you love somebody. Tell somebody you love them. And I promise you, it will mean the world to them. Thank y'all for tuning in.
I love you, June.
I love you too, sis.
All right. Thank you.
Peace.
Peace.